Good morning and welcome to the USA Cares podcast. I'm your host, Matt Castor. I am joined today with special co-host, Miss Stefani Jones. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning.
I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah, the welcome back. I'm here.
Yeah, we sent Alexis off to New York on vacation, and so I'm glad to have you here.
It's finally my time to shine, guys.
Finally your time. It's always your time.
Right. You're not
wrong.
wrong.
I picked up on your subtle hint the other day when you said, I sure would like to be on the podcast again. I don't always notice things really well, but I kind of subtly picked up on that.
Yeah, like I told you, if you throw a fit about something enough, usually
you can
happens.
make it happen.
Yeah.
The squeaky wheel.
Yeah, the squeaky wheel. Yeah,
absolutely.
The squeakiest of wheels is what they call me, but yeah.
So I'm glad you're here.
You know what? Me
Not
too.
just because you forced your way on, but because, you're a big part of what we do.
That's how you get results.
Wow.
That's sales.
Unbelievable. No, it's great to have you on. Merry Christmas to everybody who's listening. I hope you've had a wonderful Christmas season. And to all of those who are in the service or listening around the world, thank you for all that you do. If you are new to the USA Cares podcast, this is a chance for us to give back to the veteran community, to talk about some of the stories that are going on around the world, to talk about those who selflessly serve our country and make it a better place to live every single day. So to all those serving, thank you so much. To our veterans listening out there, we want to be a tool that you can use to really help in your career transition from the military to civilian life. We want to have guests on here that share their stories and give you some hope and encouragement. And we know it's not easy. So that's why USA Cares is here to help. And so we're just going to share some stories and hopefully you enjoy it. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make this a part of your weekly routine. So Steph, what's going on with you?
A whole bunch of everything.
Yeah?
Just getting excited for our 2022 year.
It's going to be big.
It's
going to be big. I tell you what, we have some really exciting stuff going on. We have 12 chapters around the country right now. We're about to add more than 20 more. So it's a bunch.
Yep.
And we need everybody on board, everybody supporting. Go to usacares.org, check out the chapters tab, and look if there is a chapter in your area. If there is, get involved today. If there isn't, let's talk.
We've got great news. If there's not,
yeah,
you can make one. It's as simple as that.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, they should probably reach out to us first.
You know what?
Not like
logistics.
Just
am I
making
right?
a cardboard sign and saying I have a chapter. So we'll help you get that started. But we want you to be a part of it. We want you to jump right in. Last week we've had so many great companies and organizations come along to help us along the way. Last week we had Ray Springsteen, the president and CEO of Abound Credit Union, on. Big shout out to Abound Credit Union. They've done a great job. We're just honored to partner with them. We've also been able to do some work recently with the Justin Thomas Foundation, bringing gifts to soldiers at Fort Knox.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot.
And thank you to Justin and all the work that he does. Finally, I want to mention, give a shout out to Clean the World and to Cardinal Moving. We recently did a project where we took a lot of items down to the victims of the tornadoes in southern Kentucky. As many of you know, we are based in Louisville, Kentucky. We are a national organization, but based here in Louisville, Kentucky. And our state was ravaged by some terrible tornadoes. So we were honored to jump in and help where we could. But really, we couldn't have done it without these organizations. So thank you to Clean the World, to Cardinal Moving. So, Steph, you ready to jump into today?
We sure are.
What a guest.
I know. We've got a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah. And, I'm always surprised when people remind me how I'm the least educated person in the room.
You know what? I will gladly do that to you anytime. You're sitting in between two huge brains.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh.
I just hope I can keep up with the mental energy in the room.
We had to adjust the headsets with how big our brains are. So it's really hard.
So joining us today, which I'm very excited, is Dr. Greg Bishop, who is new to the USA Cares family.
Brand spanking new.
Today's his first day.
Well, it's not. That's false.
It's been about a month now. So
it's been about a month. So I let you have a month before we threw you in front of the microphone.
I was wondering when it was going to happen. I knew it was coming soon.
Well, I'm sure you were just counting your days and hoping and praying that this would happen.
I was thinking the other day, Matt's going to put me on that podcast soon. I know he is.
And then like 4 people asked him in the same day. Me,
Yeah.
Alexis, I think
Well-
we were all like, "Are you still doing it?"
Well, Matt's pitch was, "Are you a sport?" Oh, wait a minute, this could be bad. What are you talking about?
I think, Greg, what I said was we've exhausted all other options for guests. You are our last choice. So would you join us? So
Make you feel real good.
Yeah, well, I try. So we're glad you're here. And
Well, thank you.
Career Navy man, right? Just
Go
like
Navy,
my father.
Navy.
so-
Boy, when we won that football game, I was very
Oh
happy.
my! That took how
Tell
many
us about that
seconds?
football
How many
game.
seconds did that take?
Yeah.
We were right to that. I'm surrounded by Army folks at
You are.
USA Care, so I was pretty pretty elated to see Navy, even though they were an underdog, win that football game.
Oh yeah. They should have seen our office of the banter that we had
Oh, it
going
was
on.
ugly.
I endured quite a bit because
Yeah.
we were the underdogs. so.
Yeah, but
It
you
was
came
ugly.
right in with that jersey on right after. Didn't skip a beat.
Well, and I see Trace Chester just walked into the room, and he's just sitting back here, just grinding his teeth. As
That's weird. He walked right back out of the room after that.
yeah, he's not real thrilled. But at least you took the victory well, and it's not like you marched up and down our hallway wearing a Navy jersey. Oh, wait, you did.
Wait, you know what?
I did actually. It was,
I can't say you're wrong
Hey,
because
what are you all talking about? I just walked in. Is this that game again?
Something about that
Yeah.
Army Navy
some
game.
game that happened
Is there
recently.
nothing else
Yeah.
to talk about?
Well, he brought it up, Trace. It's not my fault.
Who brought it up?
Greg.
Who do
well,
you
Matt,
think?
Matt said I was a
See,
Navy
I
guy
don't know
at the
what's
place.
wrong with you
so.
people.
So, Greg, talk for a minute. How did you get here? What's your path been that you are now at USA Cares and helping veterans?
Well, it's all COVID related basically, but it all worked out really well. I was the director of academic operations for a large college, about 43 campuses over 7 states.
Which school was that?
It was Ross College.
Oh, okay.
Ross College, and everything was going really well, and then COVID hit, of course, and we tried to make everything work over the COVID thing, and then finally they said, you know, Greg, we don't think we're going to do the hybrid program anymore. So, good luck. So,
Well, that was a nice way to
Yeah.
deliver the news.
I was off to the races again, looking for gainful employment. But I found this place here through it was basically just an accident. I
Yeah.
was with HR affiliates. I just showed up in my Indeed search. And I thought, well, you know what? Let me try this. And I didn't even specialize my resume. I usually will write a resume that's specialized for this. So let me just find out more about this program. And when I did, I talked with Paula, and she sold me it basically.
Paula Presley's been on here before. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Paula is my boss. She is a great boss so far. We'll
You
see.
have to say that because you're being
Right.
recorded.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was basically an ample opportunity for me to help veterans and give back a little bit. Very fortunate over a 20-year Navy career to have gone places and done things that most people don't get to do in their lifetime. That's one of the great things about being in the military.
What made you want to get into the Navy?
Boy, I was a kid out of high school that had no money for college, and I remember I was bouncing a basketball saying, what am I going to do with my life? What's
Yeah.
going to happen? So the military seemed an awful great thing. My dad wouldn't let me join the Marines, and I didn't want to join the Army, so I joined the Navy. I wanted to travel.
Process of
Didn't
elimination.
want to join the Army, Trace. Did you hear that? I'm just saying. Okay.
He's gonna turn around and leave.
Yeah, he might. He
He's
might
over
leave.
it.
I wanted to travel, and
Yeah.
the Navy
Well,
gave me that.
it does
So
give you that option. That's for sure.
I've been places that
What
I've never
was your
gone.
favorite stop?
I really liked Malaysia, Kota Kinabalu, Malaysia.
Really?
That was a really nice place. It was we pulled in for fuel and decided to stay for a few days. It
Nice.
was great. So the captain on the ship said, "You know what? We have some time."
All of a sudden, there's something wrong with the boat.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what was the highlight of your Navy career? So 20 years in, what was one of those moments that you think this is the best part?
I tell you, I spent most of my career as a hospital corpsman, basically a basic hospital corpsman, and I went to sea school to be an optician. I did that for a long time. Toward the end of my career, I decided that I just needed something to do more, and I went to something called Independent Duty Corps School.
Okay.
I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with that, but you basically get to operate as a physician-free person on the ship. So actually almost like a PA. You don't get the license or the notoriety for that, but you get to do that by yourself. So I was on, my last ship was a minesweeper out of Japan. And I was the only medical guy on board. There was
Nice.
no nurse, there's no doctor. I basically got to practice medicine without a license.
Wild.
So
I'm not
it
sure we
So
should
can
say
you
that.
so
on
can you
the
check out
air.
this rash I got going on here?
What part?
not anymore. I can't do that. No.
Robert, where were you in Japan?
Spent most of my deployments Iwakuni. Went to Fukuoka, Tokyo to just climb Mount Fuji, and then spent a lot of time in Okinawa too.
So Robert's a Marine.
Yeah.
So you weren't allowed to be a Marine, but he was.
But I was a hospital corpsman.
Oh,
He
okay.
knows
My
all
best
about
friend's a
it.
corpsman.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, I actually was just talking to him this morning.
Well, good.
I love Japan.
Yeah.
People always ask me, "Hey, Greg, how do you like Japan?" I was like, "I'm not sure. My wife tells me it's nice." Because I was on the ship, 12, 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
Of course,
With
for
the
deployments.
ocean, very nice.
Remember, we would sail out of Sasebo is where we were at. We would sail out and then into the ocean, and it would just I'd be on the forecastle, which is the pointy end of the ship for all the lay people and army
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you. Yeah. Another Army shot. Wow.
And it would stay there, and just a big grin on my face as we're heading out to sea. I used to love to go on deployments.
You ever get seasick?
Only once, and I think
Steph, you would get seasick.
I know, he said once, and I'm like, a day?
Like Stephanie's getting green as we're talking
Once
about
a
being
day.
I'm blaming it on the yakisoba that we had for dinner.
the Yaka who?
Yakisoba. We
Tell
had
us,
it.
what's that?
It was something that the cooks made occasionally on board the ship. It's really pretty good. I always liked it, but
Just not that night.
that night something hit me wrong. I don't know. It might have been the hurricane that we were riding through.
Ah.
Well, that might have had
Yeah.
something to do with it. Yeah.
But only once in my 2-year career on that ship did I ever get seasick.
Wild.
Wow. So
Can't
that's cool.
relate.
So you would recommend the Navy to somebody coming out?
People ask me all the time, which service should I go into? I was like, if you want to travel, join the Navy. We're the only service that's going to pick up their whole command and actually move it to somewhere else.
Yeah.
So in the Army, you get to travel, you get to be stationed other places, but we're going to we're going to go 5 different places on one deployment with our whole command. So I did miss out going to Russia. We were supposed to go to Russia the years that SARS hit, and then they canceled that. So I was really disappointed. That was my last year there.
Yeah.
But in the end, I really had a good time as far as getting to travel places I would have never gone to, Thailand and Malaysia, and just great places.
Nice. So now, what was it like coming out of the Navy when you were transitioning, trying to figure out what you were going to do with your life after that, post-service?
Well, it was difficult, and I was just talking with Paula the other day about this, and she was real surprised that when I left the Navy back in 2004, there wasn't much talk as far as VA, and there was no transition programs, and I basically left Japan and went home to the States with no job possibilities, no really place to live. I lived with family for 2 months as we try to figure out where we're going to go and live. The good news is I had about 3 months worth of terminal leave, so I was still getting paid like I was in the military. So I had that 3-month cushion to find a place to live.
But it's still nerve-wracking, isn't it?
Oh yeah, can you imagine? I mean, just
Your whole world has changed completely.
20 years of security for financially and a place to live, and you're gonna eat every day, and sometimes I eat way too much, and but all of a sudden you just don't have it.
Everything's flipped upside down.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons that this job is such a great transition for me and to do this is because I understand the trepidation and the fears and just what am I going to do now? How do I take care of my family? Where are we going to live?
Right.
So it's a different world if you've never experienced before, and if I can use my skill set that I've brought in from my life beyond the Navy to help those guys do that, then that's great for me.
Yeah.
I'm in the right place.
Right. That level of comfort, I'm sure that you're able to give some of those people who really are looking for that at that time is
It's
unbeatable.
It's a little nicer to say it's okay, relax, take a deep breath.
I've been there, and I'm
We've
going to
been
help
there,
you.
and we're gonna make it through it. And that really does my heart good. To be able to do that for these guys.
Yeah.
Good. So it's an interesting thing we do. We talk all the time about the sense of purpose for people coming out of the military and losing that sense of purpose, needing to get that back. At USA Cares, we have our programs team, which deals directly with veterans in crisis. But what you have and Paula has is a more preemptive approach because you can meet them at the moment of transition. You can give them that hope, that reassurance, and you all are doing an amazing job I mean, Paula was already doing a great job to the point where she had more work than she could handle. And
Right.
now you're able to help with that and bring it even further.
Yeah, you said Paula had been on here before, but if anyone
Mm-hmm.
doesn't know about Paula Presley, she has got this town linked in and hooked up.
Oh,
Yeah, she does.
She sure does.
I think everybody knows Paula.
She makes a phone call and makes things happen.
I can tell you right now, she's done that for me.
Yeah.
She has done
She's
it.
why you're here, isn't she?
She is actually the reason I am
That's
at
right.
USA Cares, but she's also been very helpful with a lot of projects I got going on. So
Yeah, and
awesome.
it is. She became so busy, basically, in a day that she had trouble having the time to pick up that phone call and make those.
Yeah.
Now, if I can coordinate the stuff for her and alleviate some of that burden that she has as far as the small scut work, I call it,
Yeah.
basically, then that helps her to be able to make those phone calls and do
Right.
things for people. So it frees her time up so she can do what she does, and she does it very well.
right.
That's awesome. So we're helping veterans transition, helping them find that next career. What are some of the when you're speaking with some of these veterans who are coming out? What are some of the questions they ask? What are some of those things that they're unsure about, that they're concerned with? What is it that they are wanting to know?
There's just a basic fear of what happens next. It's an unknown. You're going from an arena where everything is not taken care of for you, but
Structured.
yeah, and there's security in the fact that I know I'm getting paid on the 1st and
Yeah.
15th, and you know as you transition out, that's not going to keep happening. You're going to get paid once a month, about half of what you made as you retire. If you just get out, then you get nothing. So there's a basic fear there of what's going to happen, and it really kind of goes back to the whole Maslow's hierarchy of
Yeah.
needs, right?
Yeah.
It goes right into that. It's like your basic needs had to be met.
Absolutely.
And all of a sudden, where there was security before, now there isn't. So as most military leaders and most people in the military, they want to start planning for that. And I can see them and I can hear the anxiety in their voice when we talk to them as what's going to happen next. How
Yeah.
can I make this right? How can I plan this right? And for us to be able to help them ease through that and at least find a direction, because it's a sea of just uncertainty. And we can help find a direction for
And
that. So.
you help them with their resumes too, right?
Yes, absolutely. We do the resume reviews, even if you're not going to do our senior leader corporate fellowship program or any of the transition leader fellowship program. We will help you with the resumes, no problem.
That's a fascinating thing to me. We've talked about it a couple times on this podcast,
Yeah.
but I see these books that they call resumes
I was
coming
about
out
to
of the
say.
military, and I'm like, all right, here's 17 pages of stuff that I don't know what it says.
And it's so helpful, Greg, that you have the lingo down, the terminology. You're able to take what they've got and turn it into a civilian-esque resume, which is, really, really helpful. I think about back in staffing when me and Paula did work together, and we would get resumes from veterans, and we had no clue how to tackle it, what to do with it, how to even slightly turn it. We know a idea of what they're trying to say, but have no clue how to turn that into.
yeah.
It is,
terms
and
that I
if
need.
the military has some sort of term for just about everything.
Right.
I remember in boot camp marching by this big ball-looking thing as we went to our first classes in the mornings, and every day the drill instructor would say, "Everybody mind the BRT." And we're like, "Oh, that's the BRT. There must be something important." And finally, at the end of boot camp, we just asked, "So what's a BRT?" He said, "It's a big round thing."
Oh my God.
You have to be able to
Jeez.
decipher all of
Yeah,
that, and it's kind
yeah.
of like that when you look at a resume
Oh my
that,
gosh.
that people bring in, and it's like, okay, I understand what this means, but no one else. is.
Exactly. And
Well, that's a
so
big
key.
part of it, right?
Yeah.
Speaking in the abbreviations,
Yeah.
speaking,
We're still learning every single day.
every single day. We had a guest on, was it 2 weeks ago? The founder of Stop Soldier Suicide, and he was giving an example of a veteran he was helping who is transitioning out of the military, who was special forces, who put on his resume a number of confirmed kills he had.
Yikes!
I mean, you just never know what people are going to put
Yeah.
down.
Right.
And you're thinking, okay, maybe that's not what we need to be focused on right now. But it is, it's such a shift from the military being every day and doing these deployments and doing these missions and the things
The
that
structure,
you
the very
think,
specific of what you will be doing
Absolutely.
Yeah.
at this time till this time till this
Yeah.
time till this time. You'll eat. But it's different. It's
it is
much
so
different coming out of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So good.
So we could imagine at least.
What are some other things that you all can help with?
The resumes right now are a big thing. We have our senior leadership program, or senior leader corporate fellowship program.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. We also have Mr. P's for some of the for open to all.
Yeah,
ramps.
this is kind of cool. Talk about this. I was excited about this program
this
because
is our
all I know is I saw Paula driving a big 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
I shot that video. By the way.
Yeah.
that
It was
was
great.
very
It was great
good.
to watch.
They if you want to drive a truck, basically, and a lot of people do, it's great. We need them right now.
Oh my
for sure.
goodness, there's so many
my God.
jobs open.
And it's
yeah.
a great opportunity for those who want to do this. Mr. P's over in Jeffersonville has offered to give their CDL training for free, absolutely free, as long as you agree to drive with them
Right.
for the following year. And
these aren't like $10 an hour
I was
jobs.
gonna say, and they
These are-
offer local routes as well, correct?
yeah, well,
It's
you
not
have to
OTR
start.
as
You have
much?
to start over the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's
So you
just
got
like
that
any
wrong,
job.
Steph. That was
Yeah.
wrong. You were wrong.
Thank you for reminding me. If
you were
anybody
wrong.
found out I was actually wrong on that one.
You were wrong. I'm just saying.
Taking away one of your degrees for that.
Yeah, one of your 7 degrees.
But it's a great way, and those guys are making big bucks right now
Yeah.
because they're
Big
so in need.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to transition to that. And then with the program, you actually get to go to the courses before you leave active duty. So you can finish up the program while you're just as you transition into your terminal leave point. So you get to start right away.
Yeah.
Instead of having to wait.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of these truck driving jobs are really good jobs.
Oh yeah. Then they're needed 100% right now.
Yeah, I think
Big time.
people discount them sometimes, but don't really look into them. And then once they do, they're like, okay,
Yeah.
so I can make twice as
I was
much
just
money
saying
doing
it's not
this.
too shabby if you look
No,
at the
not
pay.
at all.
We're
Not
diving
at all.
into that.
And there's a lot of freedom in it, and
Yeah.
so that's
And
great.
think about it, listen to whatever music you want all day.
Oh my,
That'd sell me.
you'd just be singing.
I would.
All
I'd
day
have no
long.
voice.
Yeah.
I'd be on the dispatch all day.
Somewhere between being in the Navy and working at USA Cares, you started falling out of airplanes. So talk about this for a second, because I feel like Trace Chesser would say that is you like trying to be more Army by jumping out of airplanes, like trying to fulfill that
geez,
Army need. I think that's what he would say.
Yeah. The free fall that we do is far and beyond better than the
Oh, okay.
static line stuff that you guys did. So. It all started back in Bethesda, Maryland. I was stationed there working at the eye clinic, and a buddy of mine said, "I want to try skydiving before I get out." And I said, "Sure, I'm game. Let's go." So we did this one weekend, and I got down on the ground. And I was like, "What in the world was that?" It went by so fast. It was so surreal. I had to try it again. And the next thing I knew, I was buying gear. And then the next thing
You're
I knew,
hooked.
It's addictive,
I
huh?
was becoming an instructor. So I've been an instructor, or had been an instructor skydiving for about 25 years. So while I was in active duty, and I really wanted to go to actually the Fort Benning and do the Army thing and get my wings, but they said my job description wouldn't allow for it. So I said, well, I'll just do it myself. Fine, bye.
Have you ever
I
done that
don't
stuff?
need your help. No, but me and Greg have talked about it a lot.
You're gonna go, aren't
I've
you?
been wanting to. My dad was an instructor
Oh,
at
cool.
school where Trace went as
Yeah.
well, Fort Campbell. So he has jumped out of planes time and time again. So he has his little it's some sort of a dog tag, but he put it in a shoe every single time he jumped. So he gave it to me, and now my goal is to jump and put it in my shoe.
Nice.
Continue the tradition.
That's going to be great.
That's awesome.
It's our little family thing.
So let's get this set. When are you jumping? Let's
No,
So in
definites are where the hard
2022
part.
So in 2022, you're committing to jump out of an airplane.
Yeah, probably.
Well, there you
We'll
go.
do it.
All right, it's on record.
That's the podcast.
All right. There we go.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, I did that for about 25 years. I ended
Okay.
up with about 4,000 jumps total.
Wow.
My only claim to fame with that whole thing is that I was one of the flying Elvises.
Well, okay. All right.
If you ever saw them on Honeymoon in Vegas, I
Yeah.
wasn't on the team at that point. I joined after, but I was one of they call it the flying Elvi. Is what it
You
is.
had the whole white jumpsuit and
I
the
did
whole
actually.
thing.
I'll show you a picture later.
Oh, we're ready.
Nice. I want to see that. You should have come dressed up today. I'm just saying.
Oh, he left it in the car, but I'm sure he
Yeah,
can
he
change real
probably,
fast.
he probably keeps it with him
Yeah.
every day.
Well,
yeah.
then-
Like you do with your
PA system.
PA system. Yeah.
Just in case you need to break out karaoke at
That's
some
right.
point.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you were an instructor, so you had people tandem with you.
We do tandems and AFF as well. As
Okay.
static line. Tandem is where they jump out attached to you, basically, which is probably the most economical way to get into that and just kind of see if you want to do it. Everyone, I think,
Yeah.
should do this once.
And what's the AFF?
AFF is accelerated free fall, which you go and you send an all-day 8-hour course, basically, and we teach you how to recognize emergencies and what to do, and then how to fly a pattern and land the parachute. And you get to jump out with 2 instructors, and they hang on to you. But once you open your parachute, you're on your
So
own
you
little
two,
video.
you two with all your degrees, you'd probably go with the 8-hour
Somebody
course.
sounds so bitter today.
Now
I don't know
me,
what it is.
Lowly, just have my
We
bachelor's
need to get
degree.
you tandem. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably can't sit through an 8-hour course like that. That
Oh,
would-
absolutely
yeah,
not.
probably not. So, well, that's awesome. So then you've also had this other side of you.
I do a lot of things.
You do a lot of
He's
things.
a busy bee.
So what else do you do?
Right now, the big thing is I play in a band.
What's the band called?
It's called the Misty Ides Band, IDES.
Okay.
I didn't pick the name, but it's
Unless
it's
you
a
love
great
it, then I
place.
did pick it.
We do a lot of 50s and 60s and 70s rock and roll, Dion type stuff.
Nice.
And they're pretty popular. We do a lot of the VFWs
Okay.
around town. They don't pay as much for us,
Right.
but we like
Right.
playing for the veterans.
Yeah.
And they, everyone at the VFWs is that era, so they,
Yeah.
they love the music
Oh,
we play anyway.
absolutely.
So
That's cool.
we have a great time. We were just over at Post 61 in Smyrna a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we're going to be at the Eagles Club over here in off Billtown Road this New Year's Eve. So,
Oh, nice.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Well,
so
good.
we have a lot of fun with it.
Well, if you ever need a singer,
Don't call Steph.
especially call me. Now, I'm not going to be good, but I am fun.
Well, good. You're a great addition to the USA Cares team. It's always wild in nonprofit to see who's going to come along and join the staff, because you get
a
people
melting
from
pot.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
You get people from everywhere, and you get people that we shouldn't be able to afford you, to be quite honest with you. But
That's what I keep telling them. They don't.
but we're so glad you're here, and the difference you're going to make in the veterans' lives are tremendous. So just talk to those veterans for a minute. Talk to the veterans, because we have people all over the world who listen to this podcast, and we have people who are getting ready to end their 20-year career like you did. We have people who have served for a long time. They're getting ready to come out of the military, and they have they're feeling that stress in their chest. They're feeling like, what am I going to do next? And maybe don't know about all the services and things that are available to them. So talk to those people for a minute and give them some hope and some pointers.
Listen, there are avenues out there for help. I remember looking for places for help when I left the military, 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago now, and they weren't available for me, or at least that I could find anyway. But it's out there now. The society has realized that we need to take care of our veterans, and there's a need for places like USA Cares. I think that we do an exemplary job as far as the veterans that we talk to. The thing is, we need more to reach out for us, and we need to advertise that. So let people know that we're available for them and we're help. Even if you don't use any other service, send me your resume. I'll look it over. I look at these resumes like I'm grading a paper, and I've graded thousands of papers. Basically, we'll fix this thing for you so you get the best chance and opportunity at a job interview, so you can walk in there prepared.
Yeah.
If nothing else, can't do anything else for you, send me your resume. I'll be happy to look at it.
Well, don't you think it's important too, just to be, for people coming out of the military to, there's going to be moments you got to put your pride aside, and they've got their resume put together that they're proud of.
Absolutely.
And there's going to be
right.
those moments when they're like, "What? You're taking that
There's
off?
red lines everywhere.
That was a big deal."
That's exactly right. I use
Yeah.
track changes to send it back to
Yeah,
them, and it's
yeah.
covered in red, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
You can't carry your rank with you into a new job sometimes. And sometimes you want to. Well, I did all these great things, and I did this in the military, and I did this in the military. And it's a whole different arena out in the civilian world. In corporate America, it's different. Everyone knows that the military operates on their own rules instead of values and what they do. Things are a little slower out here. You can't say, I want this done, and have it done.
Right.
You have to, there's a process.
Yeah.
And you have to trust the process, as I've heard.
Trust the
So,
process.
You do.
And-
I've heard that quite a bit. So
Come into the process humbly,
absolutely.
right? And ready to take advice, and things may not go exactly as you think.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
So, well, just know we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here helping the veterans, doing what you love. And,
Thank you. Yeah, I look at that, and I keep thinking back, like, well, how come I didn't have this job 10 years ago?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in the right place
Yeah.
at the moment. So it's good to be here.
Good.
You're a good fit with the team, I'd say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Hopefully you'll come back.
Well, yeah, we have to come
We'll
back to
see.
work
Like,
on Monday. So
We'll have you back on again
I
soon.
can be a sport. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Merry Christmas to both of you.
Well, thank you.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yes, Merry
Yeah.
Christmas.
So we just passed the 1 year mark on this podcast. So
Woo.
I didn't. There were times that I didn't know if we'd be able to say Merry Christmas, but we made it to this
Yeah.
point. So we're excited. Thank you to all of you who listen every week. To all of you who give us some really good feedback, and I'm always excited and encouraged when we hear a story from somebody who listened and they say, "Hey, I needed to hear that today," or "That was something that was really helpful to me." And so please keep that feedback coming. You can email me directly at matt@usacares.org. We'd love to hear from you. Hit that subscribe button. Make this part of your weekly routine, and we would love to be there with you each week. I want to mention the Speakeasy Podcast Network. The Speakeasy Podcast Network is what makes this possible for us every single day. And if you or your organization are looking at podcasting and maybe don't know much about it, reach out to these folks. They are very, very good at this. They can guide you through the whole process and really make it a fun
I
experience.
was going to say, it's too fun. It's awesome.
It is.
So it's the best place to do it.
Absolutely. And you end up sitting with people like Dr. Greg, who you can get to know a little better than you would over a phone call. So check them out today, speakeasynetwork.com. They do a tremendous job. Check out more about USA Cares at usacares.org. And, we're at the end of the year, Steph. This is always a time when we're approaching kind of the financial lean period, and we need people to pitch in. I don't make a plea on this podcast very often for people to make their donation, but it's the end of the year, and we would like for people to step up and help their veterans
Absolutely.
through USA Cares.
Especially during the holidays, it gets tough.
Absolutely. Go to usacares.org, hit that donate button, make this a commitment. Make this something that you're going to decide for your New Year's resolution that you're going to pitch in each week. That was your idea,
It
Steph.
is.
That was very good. So throw down $25, $50, $100, throw down $1,000 a month, whatever you want to do.
And I'll send
whatever
you a cup.
can do. We'll send you a nice coffee mug, and you become part of the USA Cares family. But we want you to join today. So please check that out at usacares.org. So thank you to everybody who's a part of this. Hit that subscribe button. Let's listen each week. And we look forward to being with you next week.
Hey,
Thank
Matt.
you.
I just have to say it. Go Navy.
I like this guy more and more every day.
He's going to ask to get that edited out later.
End on that. Yeah.
He's going to be like, you remember that one thing I
Yeah,
said?
we're
Pull
going to
it.
have to cut that out. But, all right. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Have a good day.